Kristen Prescott. I'm a senior and currently in marketing.
I'm Allie Klein. I'm a junior and also in marketing.
I'm Nate Gray. I'm the mechanical lead, and I've led the Summerfest demo and our library demo.
Okay. Well, Team 537 over the past 10 years has expanded our community involvement by doing a variety of demos and community outreach projects. First, what is a demo or a demonstration? For us, it's an event where you're sharing any information about FIRST or robotics in general to the public. And why do you do these demos? You do them to spread the word of FIRST to your community. You get people to know about it. You can spark interest for new team members. You can spark interest for new mentors. You can create more relationships with your current sponsors. You can also gain experience in the public presentation, such as when you later use it in chairmans, in your professional career, or in when you're presenting things to judges, also at competitions. Okay, in this presentation, we're going to go over when doing a demo, what you should ask yourself while and before and planning the demo, what to plan for all sorts of demos, large and small demos, a demo when you're working with other teams, and what not to forget ever at a demo, and then at the end, or if you guys have any questions during, we'll have time for that too. Okay. We do all kinds of demos, from small demos at our local library, banks, places like that, to large demos such as our Summerfest demo on the waterfront, which we team up with Winnovation, and holding our own mini regional the Sunday before shift. Our large demo, Summerfest, is the demo, and we go there every day, all 12 days of Summerfest. We bring activities for the children, such as we have coloring sheets they can color on, tattoos to put on themselves, the Xbox the kids enjoy playing with. Also for the adults, we have our competition robot there. This year we brought 2, and it really gets the interest of people to come over there and they're like, oh, what's that big robot doing? So it gains their interest. Also, a collaboration demo we do is on the waterfront. Winnovation holds the demo by them, but we don't bring down our course and manpower to help set it up, and it's a full-on mock competition, so then we get to work with other teams and see how they all work. Also, we do small demos such as we've done demos at churches, movie theaters, everywhere in the area. When doing a demo before, you want to ask yourself a few questions. First off, what are you guys going to try to communicate while doing the demo? Is your demo focused on getting interest for new team members, trying to get sponsors? Are you working with little kids? So you need to know what you're trying to communicate when you're at the actual demo. Also, you need to know who your audience is. If it's children, you want to bring activities that the children would be interested in. Or if it's adults, you need to have something for them to talk to. Also, when we do demos, we participated in the Rockwell Automation Fair. We needed to know that we were going to be talking with people that understood all the technical terms. So we were expected for them to communicate with them like we would communicate with anyone else on our team and professionals. Also, you need to know what who's going to grab the audience's attention to come over by you and start talking to you. For things like this, we have sometimes a display such as this, also posters, and if you can, bring your competition robot most of the times because that really gets people to come and look at it. You also need to know how structured your demo is going to be, because if it's with other teams, it's going to be more structured than if it's just your team and a few people. So you need to know time frames and such. Now, Allison Klein will be talking to you.
Okay, sorry. So we like to split up demos into 3 different sections: smaller demos, large demos, and collaboration demos. Before you start any demo though, you need to make sure your team's interested and dedicated, because otherwise it's hard to do a demo if you're only going to have 2 or 3 people showing up to work there. Also, it's important to have one contact person, both on the side of the business where you're going and on your team. That way there's no confusion of when you're communicating and planning. Also, have a plan and know the flow of the demo before you go there. Know generally what it's going to be like. Before you start the demo, you need to plan for a setup time. That way you can know when everyone's going to be there and you'll be very prompt, and that'll look good. Also, it's important to know your location, if you're inside or outside, if you have enough space to bring your robot, or if You're going to have room for a big display. Also know exactly what you're doing. It's important to prepare whether it's for a speech or just have your team ready to give out little facts about FIRST or robotics. And the big question here is ask yourself what will grab the bystanders' attention, because you want to draw people into what you're doing and make them interested and learn about it. You need to know who your audience is, whether it's kids or parents or older people. You need to prepare for that. For kids, we like to bring a button maker or tattoos or coloring books related to robotics because that makes them more interested and draws them in. But for adults, we like to have more technical things like our business plan or trophies and stuff like that. You need to be able to communicate to your audience. So if you're going to an engineering expo, you have to be ready with more technical explanations for what you're doing. You need to make sure you have everything you need. We like to make a checklist, and I'll elaborate on that later. And also bring extra of whatever you're bringing, whether it be batteries or whatever. It's important to be as prepared as you can. And this may seem kind of silly, but don't forget to charge your batteries. We've gotten to demos and not had charged batteries and not been able to do what we wanted to do. Make sure you have everything before you get to the venue, because sometimes it's not always an option if the demo's far away to turn around and get what you wanted. So we have a couple different ways to approach a checklist. If we don't use the things often, then we can just put it in a box and store it wherever we want, and then leave it ready for the demo. But if we use everything for like batteries or stuff, we like to make a demo and a checklist, like Kristen just handed out. And before we go there, we check off what we need as we put it into a box. We like to make one specific for each demo because each demo is different, and you need to approach it in a different way. These are a couple things we like to bring when we go to a demo. Like, we have trifolds that tell about our team and about FIRST. We like to bring our trophies from recent years, or coloring pages for kids. We bring our business plan everywhere we go. And if we are able to, we like to bring our robot or back spots. Back spots are always fun with kids. And we bring a scrapbook of build season if we can, because that shows people what we're doing. Final things before your demo, remind your team to wear robo-wear. Again, it seems kind of silly, but it's nice to know people will be able to recognize your team when they're at competitions or other demos by you, and it makes you a recognizable figure in the public. Also, make sure there's room for everyone and everything. If you're bringing your robot, you're going to need a truck, and make sure no one gets left behind. During the demo, make sure your team is on task, and it'll help them look more professional, as opposed to them just wandering around. Also, make sure they're communicating properly, like talking more technical to engineers or showing kids what the robot can do. And make sure they're walking up and approaching people, because sometimes people aren't always going to walk up. They'll just look out from a distance. And if you walk up and ask them if they have any questions, you can sometimes teach them more about your team first. When you're about to take down the demo, make sure you're efficient and polite about it. And only leave or stop when you said you would. Otherwise, that's, again, going to look unprofessional. Some things we like to bring when we go to demos is a notepad and pen so we can exchange contact information with people who have questions, and business cards for the same reason. If you have a team website or can give out FIRST's website, that's always really nice. Something we like to do, make sure you have a professional email. I used to have BirdGirl33, and I could never give that out to people because it just didn't look good. And now I have one that looks more professional. Also, our marketing lead is another example of that. She was Ducky Giraffe, and now she's Megan Stuckett at Yahoo. Once again, don't tear down before. It'll look really extremely unprofessional. And also, after the demo's ended, contact your original contact person and thank them for letting you have your demo there, and maybe ask them if they're interested in having future demos. Also, promptly reply to anyone who asks for information. This is Nate with large demos.
Large demos are similar to everything else we've talked about today. You want to make sure that before you contact any company or anything, that you make sure your team is interested and that you have enough people to staff the event. It's not very good to have contacted a company, set a whole demo up and then find out that you don't have enough people to run it. You want to make sure that you have your team sign up early exactly for that reason, and you need to make sure that you have enough people and not too many, because more the merrier is always said, but it's not good to have people just standing around doing nothing. Prior to the demo, you want to make sure that you meet up with the people in charge of the event, so you know what you need to bring, what resources they have there, what you're going to be doing every day, and if it's a multiple day thing, when you're going to be there. With that, you want to create an itinerary for longer demos that are multiple days. You want to make sure that you have everything set up ahead of time, everything that you're going to need to do it. You want to make sure that you have enough people to give the people there breaks, go to the bathroom, get lunch, stuff like that. When it comes to bringing stuff to an event, you want to make sure that you have a moving truck, because a lot of the stuff that you'll be bringing tends to be larger. Our Summerfest demo, we brought 2 robots with us, and in the past we've brought a full course. So it's always good to know what you're going to be bringing and how much space you're going to need to bring it. When you go to leave and tear down stuff, if you have like a full course there or whatnot, you're going to make sure that you tell people like how to take it apart, or if somebody has questions, just make sure that you answer them, because you don't want to get anything damaged. And just because people are frustrated with it doesn't mean you should be too, because it's not theirs. They don't know what they're doing with it exactly.
Okay, so for a collaboration demo, it would be when you're working with other teams, either you're organizing a demo and other teams are coming, or you're one of the teams going to a different team's organized demo. As with all other demos, you guys need to make sure you guys have enough people interested in going before you commit. Because it's never good to say you're going to be there and you'll have 10 kids and get there with 3 and then not be of help to the other team. Also, one thing is you need to make sure you contact the contact person or person in charge of it early to make sure everything's set. You need to make sure they know you're coming and you know how many people are going to be needed, times like that. Also, once you get in contact with this person, stay in touch. You guys need to make sure you're communicating with them often enough. If you know, so you know, say it's outside, you need to know what would happen if it's raining outside. Is it still going to go on? You need to communicate with them often enough that you're set for everything before you get there. Also, when you go to a collaboration demo, you guys need to make sure you guys know times, such as when you're going to be setting up, when the actual demo starts, when the demo ends, and when you guys are going to tear down and leave. You need to know the times, because it's never good for your team to leave early and not help tear down, because the other team's counting on your help. Also, you need to know, obviously, the location of where you're going. So you need to know there, if you guys need parking permits to get in, where you're going to be parking, all the logistics. Also, you need to know who your target audience is actually going to be. If it's going to be a presentation, or you're going to be at a competition where there's going to be a bunch of other robotics kids, and we did a mock competition sort of at the Rockwell Automation Fair where there was a course, and so our audience there was obviously professionals that knew the technical terms, so we were prepared for that. As to where when we went to STEMfest, it was more children, so we didn't need to have the technical terms, but just enough to get their interest. You also need to know what you're responsible for bringing. Because once the team in charge tells you you're responsible for something, you don't want to forget it, because then you'll be left at the demo with, it might possibly not work, the demo, because you forgot something. Also, don't bring too much, such as when we went to STEMfest this year, we thought we didn't ask what we all needed. So we brought our whole entire marketing display and way too much stuff, so it was just a hassle for us because we didn't plan ahead enough to get it done. Again, don't leave early on a collaboration demo. Make sure you're clear with the other teams and they're clear with you on what time you guys can leave or leave for lunch, just so that there's enough help at the end and you don't leave the demo empty when there's still people walking around, because they're counting on your help. Also, be patient with other teams. Say you're in charge of a demo and you're working, like when we take down our course, we just be patient that other teams are there helping. Because we put down the course and set it up many times, so we understand how to set it up. But other teams are just there trying to help and may have never set it up before. So you just need to be patient because all they're doing is trying to help. Some final notes is, if it's an outside demo, check the weather. Make sure you guys know what's going to happen if it's raining. For things like that, if it's going to rain, there's a good chance. Bring extra tarps, bring extra clothes. Know what you're going to do if it rains, like know where you're going to put the robots, such as on the waterfront this year. It did start downpouring right after we set up, so we put all the robots in the moving truck we brought down. So we were prepared for that and we had tarps, so nothing got moved. Also, don't forget any supplies, such as batteries or something you're responsible for, because it could ruin the demo in the end, and then it would just kind of be like a wasted day. And sometimes you can't go back and get your stuff. Also, the checklist. Checklist is a really good idea. It helps you make sure you guys get all the stuff packed before you leave and are for sure everything's going to be okay. And then finally, communication is key in all demos, whether you're working with other teams, working with a company, or you're just working with your own team. You guys need to make sure everyone knows what time to meet, what time, if they need their own transportation, if they need to bring their own lunch, if they need extra money. Just being, for sure, like being overly clear in communication is way better than having people not understanding what's going to go on. Okay, you guys have any questions?
Is your presentation available too?
We can put it up on our website,
Okay.
which is team537.org.
It'll also be on the Wisconsin regional website.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
What, are you guys is there gonna be a competition next year at Summerfest, or are you not thinking that far ahead?
We've been at Summerfest for 5 years now, I believe. Last year, we didn't contact them early enough because they had a different person in charge of the sports zone, which is where it's usually held. So we've contacted them already, so the stuff is in action. We will
Okay,
have a large
good.
demo actually. So.
No
You guys
questions?
want another chocolate?
What? Okay. Well, this is our marketing display, like a little version of it. Sometimes when we go to competitions,
We have, when we go to competitions and like for real competitions, we have one that goes in the pits. But we usually use something like this whenever we're going to somewhere like our local businesses and stuff. This is usually one that we have for like adults and stuff with our business plans, like I mentioned earlier, and we like to have our trophies. But if we were having one for kids, we have a button figure that we like to bring and coloring books and all that.
we also bring our varsity letter H just to show people that like the commitment of our team and just that it's like through our school and stuff. We also we bring such as like we have a letter of achievement from our school board.
Yeah, from our school.
Yeah, recognition from our school board, so we normally have that. Sometimes we bring the trifolds that tell us about their. Sometimes we bring the informational trifolds that have information about our team, and then we have another trifold that has information about first on it. Also,
we sometimes have a laptop going of we have a team video that shows us going through build season, and we like to bring that too.
so it's kind of interesting and fun. That is actually something that people really pay attention to. They'll stand there for a couple minutes and watch it. It's like good to like start communicating with them then.
How many people do you have in, I know 537 is a big team, working on marketing, and how do you recruit people to do marketing on the robotics?
Marketing, we have how many? 8? Not 8. That's too.
We have 7 this year, I
We have
think.
7. Usually.
It's kind of like self-fulfilling. I feel like it's
For word of
like,
mouth at this point?
yeah,
or-
kind of for marketing. It's more what?
A lot of people like what?
Oh,
yeah.
we have an 8th grade interest meeting. or like interest night in our high school gym, and we have a big setup there with posters and our video going, and that really attracts the attention. And then we're there also, and we tell them that, yeah, maybe you don't understand or don't want to wire a robot,
But there's more to that than
yeah,
just.
but there's more. Like, you can be in marketing, you can be in video, you can be in web. Also, our middle school has a Lego League team, and we help mentor it. So that kind of gains some of the interest, but I feel like that interest would be more for the mechanical and technical.
It's always a little complicated to get marketing news.
Marketing, a lot is,
A lot of
they hear
people-
about it, and
yeah.
like, I had a friend on the team, and she was like, it's cool, like marketing, you can do it, and you don't have to build a robot. So,
How many people do you have on your team then?
this year, 55.
It's on this sheet.
Yeah, I think it says 56.
Oh, 66.
66.
We have like 55, 56 active people, and when we get further into the season, it drops more to like 40-ish.
Because sometimes people are on the team and like name alone,
Yeah.
but they aren't able to do the commitment that everyone can.
Yeah.
Sorry I came late, so I don't know if this was covered or not, but where do you find new demos? Where do you seek them out? How do
Our newest demo is like at JCPenney, I think, right now, and they're one of our new sponsors, and that's how we got contacted with them. Like,
Demos at a movie theater and stuff, we have a couple of, like, one of our team members worked at the movie theater, and, like, I think Iron Man was the first
right,
one we went to. So
movies
it's
related to
kind of
robots.
robotics-y, so we'd love to be there, and then people come there.
We've been back for Tron, and we went back for Real Steel, so.
Yeah, also, sometimes we are at a demo, and people from other companies will be like, oh, this is super cool, you should come do a demo here. So by going out and doing a demo, we've gotten leads to doing other demos, so it's kind of just like a whole snowball effect.
A lot of it is having a large connection with our community, because we have people all over on our team, and they'll say, hey, my place of work is interested, or stuff like that.
sort of success begets success? The more
Yeah.
you do, the more you get asked to do.
It's
So-
true.
And
So, like, how many demos do you do a year?
This year was a very,
We had a lot.
we had a lot. We worked completely year-round this year, and we did,
We had the library demo, we had JCPenney. Like, we go to a local library and a bunch of kids.
Summerfest, the bank.
We have Summerfest, we went to the bank. We
we
Ice
had
cream social.
movie theaters.
Ice
yeah,
cream
ice
social,
cream
we have
social. We went
STEM
to,
Fest.
yes, we had STEM Fest, we had Harvest Fest, we had On the Waterfront. We had a ton of demos this year, and it was kind of overwhelming. I'd say for the team, we all were a little bit like caught up on how much we actually signed up for. But this year, I'd say we did well over 25 since the end of the season.
We do a
last
lot
year.
more in summer than we do
Summer
in
is-
dedicated
yeah.
seasons.
Probably summer up till October is when we do a lot of ours, and then we kind of settle down during the end of preseason, and like we really need to get our stuff done. Also, a thing that wasn't mentioned in the presentation is our quick facts, which they handed out.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, we give this to our team members because marketing knows most of this information, but not everyone in our mechanical team knows how many seniors or how many people on our team. And it's good information if they're going to go to a demo for them to be knowledgeable about our team. So,
Those are questions that a lot of people are asked, and we like to have those when anyone who's in the pits at competitions or anyone who's going to demos, we like them to at least have a general idea of this kind of thing.
Going back to your last question, with Summerfest, it started like 5-6 years ago. Somebody on our team just said, hey, why not do that? And just made a meeting, and then our advisor was surprised that he got a meeting as fast as he did, and that got it set up as fast. And then there was the Harvest Fest that we started this past year, and we just decided that people usually do stuff at State Fair, so that's similar, but
Go where there are crowds of people, right?
yeah.
Does everyone on your team participate in demos?
Not everyone. There's like a core people who like to do it. Like
Yeah.
some people enjoy doing demos more than other people, and it's not mandatory or anything. So
yeah. At the end of the season last year, our advisors I'd like you guys, because we had a huge list of stuff we wanted to get done. from, say, the beginning of June till like October. So she's like, I'd like everyone to like try to be active and sign up for 3 things. Like 3 things within the next like 6 months isn't too much to ask. But we have like a core of 40 or 30 who try to be as active, and then there's about 10 or 15 who are almost at like every other demo and really live for it.
Do you have to have a budget for demos, just to like transport the robot and stuff, or do you have enough, like, you know, people with bands and?
There's, when it comes to a bigger demo like Summerfest or how we transport our course here to WCTC, we have to get like a U-Haul or something to that effect. I know when we go here, GE helps pay for building the course and getting the truck and stuff. So.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think we really have a lot of.
It comes out of our fundraising.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, we have fundraising sponsors who help us pay for this stuff.
If the demos are closed, like we'll put the robot in the back of like an SUV to
Uh-huh.
get it there. Like I've carried the robot like plenty of times in the car just to save the team.
We don't like to use like the U-Haul or anything unless we have to. And
Normally,
usually
it's
we're
if the course is going.
right,
then
only
we
if we're
take-
bringing a course. Robot, typically, we don't use a truck.
What,
Yeah, sometimes we bring a trailer. Sometimes like team members on our team have like an enclosed trailer, a big trailer to take things. So we'll use that over having to actually rent a U-Haul or a moving truck or something. So we try to do that like before we have to pay for anything. Someone had a question, I think.
Mike?
I would, this is kind of a leading question I guess. I was gonna ask you what you get out of doing demos.
Oh,
Or
You know,
like,
I'm leaving it wide open,
Okay.
because
Okay.
obviously you do it because it's a community awareness.
Okay.
But do you do it for any other reasons? Do you get anything out of it?
well, as a team first, we do gain interest into our team. And even when we do them at the library and stuff, there's the little kids who are like, ooh, when I go to high school, I'm going to be on the robotics team. So we get like some interest for that. We also, like, we are at the Manufacturing Career Expo, and we get interest from sponsors. So that also helps us in that division of mentors to come in.
yeah, mentors.
Personally, I think it helps like public speaking, because I know like now I know how to communicate with people of like different ages and professionals better than I would have a couple of years ago. So
And a lot of people just like doing it because it's really nice to talk to people, and there's always going to be people at demos. I love this when people come up to me and they're like, what you're doing is so cool, and you get a feeling of satisfaction out of it.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there, and I wondered if you realized how much public speaking ability or experience you get from doing that. I've seen the most quiet kid on our team open up and become a confident speaker from doing them, and I think it's amazing that you recognize that that's what you get out of it. That was a very good statement. Obviously, you get more than that out of it.
do you have anything to add?
There's perks to everything. It's like getting your team recognition, getting first recognition. When it comes to like Summerfest, when we finish in the night, we get to stay and watch concerts in the end. So
There's always some fun stuff added on to a few of the demos, and like sometimes at the movie theater demos we get to stay and watch the movie. But yeah, it's pretty much like it's fun sometimes to hang out with their team at a demo. Sometimes it's hard work, but overall you get something out of it every time.
We've had good demos, we've had bad demos. It's just how it goes.
What do you mean by a
Like,
bad demo?
We've had demos where there's not a lot of interest at, like, people, we're there, but not a lot of people are coming up or talking to us, and most of the time we're just kind of left standing there like, want to hear about first? But no one does.
People walk by and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, why am I here? But you know, in the end, like something comes out of it. So.
Yeah.
or times when you get to a demo and you expect to have a whole bunch of working back spots for little kids to drive around and they're all broken.
Yeah.
It just
Those
yeah.
are the demos.
Oh, this year we did a battle of the bands, which one of our mentors set up and was very very excited about. And it was actually very fun because it got a lot of like the kids in our community to come to it because like we had local bands and bands from like Madison and stuff come there. And it was really cool because like we got all the fundraising, we did it as a fundraiser, and it was fun to hang out at, and we had like back spots, and we had a competition about that, I think. And it was like pouring rain outside. It was crazy. We were all like cold, and we were in like this shelter that's still, it's an open shelter, but it was really fun overall. A lot of people like learned about FIRST a little bit, and they knew that we have a robotics team at our high school and stuff like that. So it was fun, and like we got to listen to music all day. So
It helped because it wasn't hugely robotics related, like you don't think robotics, damn, same thing. But and that helped because people who would normally be interested in going to something robotics came to see the music, and they still heard about our team.
Another one of the smaller things we did is Relay for Life, and for one of the laps, we brought our robot out and took it around the track, which is kind of cool. It's not, there's not every day that you see a robot going around a track.
Did it make it all the way around?
yeah,
we
yeah,
had
it did.
somebody, had
Just
somebody
once or
sitting
more?
on, I think it went around like 3 or 4 times.
Oh my goodness, on one battery?
Yeah, I think
We had somebody sitting on
the cart, and then
carts
someone pushing the cart, and then, yeah. Like, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, we were all getting pretty tired. So, but yeah, so we do stuff like that, such as, we also do things like Relay for Life, which is more, it's not a demo for us, but we'll go out and do like a community involvement project that helps our community, people know about us then, and they can see that we're an active part of the community. Also, we do blood drives, where we had one in November and then also one in August this year, or July. And so we do a blood drive through Blood Center of America, or Wisconsin, Blood Center of Wisconsin, and we encourage all of our friends, family, people we know, people on our team to come in and donate blood. We had 52 people donate blood at the July one. So it's like big success, and it really helps like show that we do other things and not just like yay Team 537. We want to help the community and do the most we can. So.
Along the lines of the blood drive, our school's National Honor Society did one a couple months before we did our second one, and the guy who was in like from Blood Center, Wisconsin, that ran it, that was at our first one, like recognized me and said, "Oh, that was one of the biggest ones that we had." So he was really excited about it, and that we were having another one too. So.
Do you ever team up with the middle school and their Lego League stuff and demo together, or?
We have we have some of our team members go over there and mentor them, because there's 2 teams at the middle school,
Yeah.
and then one of our team members and his dad created 2 other teams on their own, so we send people all over the place.
But we've never actually had them at a demo.
At a demo?
Yeah.
And I know this year, it was our areas or our state's turn for sending people to nationals and whatnot, so I think they're having a competition at middle school sometime, I believe.
Also, I think that this year at the Wisconsin Regional, they're gonna have like an area for the Lego League teams to like show off what they did. So that will be not like a demo for them, but more of like getting them involved in like the FRC part of the thing. So.
Any other questions?
Once again, thank you guys.
Nice
for
job.
coming.
Nice job.
Thank you.